Hi, I'm Kate from Elysian Words, and today I'm going to be showing you 10 underhyped books on my TBR. I'm looking at the pile now and just realising how many I love Oz YA books. So, I'm Australian and I love supporting Australian authors. So, I have so many on my TBR, which this is my TBR bookcase right here. It's the Nita one, so this is the one I'm filming in front of. So the first books I'm going to talk about are the Magisterium series by Cassandra, Clare and Holly Black. I have and I've read the first 4. Sadly, I don't own the last book yet. I just haven't been able to buy it yet and read it. I really can't wait to read it. These are some of my favourite books, definitely my favourite Cassandra, Clare, Holly Black books. I feel like these aren't very well known. You even know Cassandra Clare for her Shadowhunters books, and Holly Black is now known for The Cruel Prince. The Mortal Instruments kind of let me down because this series is so fantastic. Yeah, these just aren't very well known or talked about. Well, they may be well known, but they're not talked about enough for how well known their authors are. So this series follows Cal, and there's this sort of mage test where everybody who has the ability to be a mage goes and competes. All of Cal's life he has been warned to stay away from magic. So he tries his best at failing and fails at failing. He enters the Magisterium, which is the secret mage training place. I don't know how to describe this. I just love it so much and really just go pick it up. One thing I especially loved about this series is that Cal has a disability. He walks with a limp because one of his legs was shattered in a fall when he was young, and it's just accepted in these books, and it's just amazing. Like, he has to go through all of these adventures and things while struggling with that, and he's so epic. There's so much banter and world building in these books, and I don't know why they're not talked about enough. So now I'm going to be talking about a Love Oz YA book, which is Darkfall by Isobelle Carmody. I feel like she's really well known, well, at least in the Australian community, for her Obby Newton series, but this book is on my TBR, and I read the first 80 pages before and really loved it, but I had to return it to the library, and then they got rid of that copy, and I've been looking for it and I finally found it. So I got it, and I'm really excited to read this so much. They're amazing, and if you've read any of her books, you'll know what I mean about her writing style. So I'm not really sure what this book is about, and I don't really care just as long as I read it, because her writing style is so magical. I don't care about the characters, I don't care about the plot, I just want to read the writing. And if you say that about an author's books, they must be really worth the read, so I highly recommend picking up any of her books. Next is From the Earth to the Shadows by Amanda Hocking. This is the second and final book following Between the Blade and the Heart. So I read the first one and I loved it so much. It follows a bisexual protagonist, and she's wrapped up in this murder mystery, and she's working with this girl she used to date, and it's just really funny, really mysterious, fast-paced, high-action book, which you will absolutely love, and has an LGBT protagonist, so go pick it up. So I'm really excited to read this one. I don't know why I haven't gotten to it yet. Probably because this one is 570 something pages long. It's a big book, but I know it's going to be a brilliant book, so she's pretty well known for, but I feel like no one talks about this series of hers. Everyone knows her for The Trial and Frostfire and everything, but so highly recommend it. First book I gave a 5 out of 5. And the next book is another Love Oz YA book, and it's What the Woods Keep by Katya D. Becerra. The first thing I saw about this book was the beautiful cover. It just drew me in. Sort of like a woods, black and red, and it's just so gorgeous. And seen some really amazing reviews for this, and I don't feel like it's really well known. well, it isn't well known. I've seen almost no one talk about it except for the few reviews I've seen. So it's a thriller mystery and it's supposed to be super smart and spooky. So what else do you need to know? And I'm hoping to read it this month for Halloween. Initiate by Bill Bennett. I'm pretty sure this is Love Oz YA. I just read the blurb because it's really short and explains everything about this book. 300 years ago, Lily's ancestor broke a solemn promise signed in blood, and now she is thrust into a shadow world where Satan is real, witches exist, and evil is an ancient living thing that seeks to wreak havoc and rule. The dark is coming, and only she can stop it. So that just sounds really good. And the second book in the series, Unholy, is out, which I also have on my TBR down there. So I have to read this one so I can get to the second one, but they're not talked about enough for how good they sound and how much amazing reviews they have. So guys, can you guess it? It's another Love Oz YA. So this is This Mortal Coil by Emily Suveda. Well, I've read the first 60 pages and I absolutely loved it, but then I picked up a different book that I got and well, this one lay forgotten. But hopefully going to get again onto this pretty soon. The first thing that drew me into it was one of my favorite authors. Read it and absolutely loved it, so I knew I had to check it out. And it's about genetic and viruses and spies, and that just sounds really amazing. And it's also sort of a cover buy, but more of a page buy. But on the side it's got like a DNA thing, which is really cool, and I love using it in photos. Really underhyped for how good everyone says it is. I'm probably going to add this to my immediate TBR. I don't know. I have way too many books on my TBR, said no one ever. But this is All of This Is True. This is a book. I heard about it at TeenCon, Sydney Writers Festival, YA Day sort of things, and I just saw it and it looked amazing. And this is a book basically about 3 or 4 friends, I can't remember how many, but one of their favorite YA authors moves near them and they meet her and they become friends with her, but then one of the girls begins telling the author all of their secrets, and the author publishes a book, and there are no names or anything or places mentioned, but they all know that this book is about them and it has all their secrets in it, and that's all I know. That's sort of the premises of it, I think. I could be very wrong. This is The Undercurrent by Paula Weston. I just haven't got into it yet, and because I haven't really heard anyone talking about it. That's what I do with underhyped books. I just put them on my shelves and sort of forget about them as no one's talking about them, and I read the hyped books, which I sometimes love, sometimes really hate. So it's basically about a girl who can control electricity, which you probably guessed from the title, I don't know. But she meets this guy and he's a soldier who's working for a secret unit that has her under surveillance. That's basically all I know about this book, but sounds really good. Actually, if you've read any of these books, leave a suggestion down in the comments so I know if you liked it or not. And lastly, I have Who's Afraid by Maria Lewis. I only picked this up like a week ago at a book fair, $7, but I have heard really great things about Maria Lewis's books, and I've read a bit of one of her other books, It Came From the Deep, and I really love what I read of it. So I'm going to give this a go. What I know is about a girl and she discovers she's a werewolf and something like that, but it has a lot of great reviews, but it's not really talked about, so I don't know. Have any of you read it? I don't know. I'm saying I don't know a lot because I really don't know about any of these books because I haven't read them yet. But bye, that's all for this video. If you'd like to see something similar, if you've read any of these books, comment down below, leave a like and subscribe, all that stuff. I'm still getting used to YouTube. I don't know how to do any of this. Bye!